There are moments in life when everything you thought you knew dissolves in an instant, when a single truth pierces through years of illusion and changes you forever. Those moments are rare, sacred, and often uncomfortable. They arrive not as whispers, but as inner earthquakes that shake the foundation of who you believe yourself to be. This is one of those moments, not a motivational speech, not a temporary burst of inspiration. This is an awakening, a confrontation with the truth that has always been in front of you, but hidden behind the noise of your daily thoughts. For most people, life unfolds in quiet repetition, the same thoughts, the same emotions, the same reactions played on a loop. They call it reality, but it is merely routine. They move through life half awake, their potential sleeping beneath the surface, never questioned, never ignited. They wonder why others rise while they remain the same. They see success as luck, as talent, as timing, never realizing that the difference between the great and the ordinary is not found in circumstance, but in consciousness. There is a point in every life when one begins to ask why. Why do some people seem to attract opportunity effortlessly while others struggle endlessly? Why does one person's belief move mountains while another's doubt builds walls? The answer is not found in the external world, it lives inside the mind. Everything you experience, every success or failure, is an echo of your dominant vibration, the frequency of your thought, the depth of your belief, the clarity of your purpose. Napoleon Hill discovered this a century ago while studying the world's most successful minds. He learned that success is not an accident, it is a science. It follows laws as precise and reliable as gravity. These laws do not care about your background, your education, or your past. They respond only to your inner state, your thoughts, emotions, and faith. Yet most people never awaken to this truth. They live as victims of outer conditions, unaware that they are the creators of those very conditions. The moment of awakening is the moment you stop chasing and start aligning. You stop asking, why don't I have what I want? And begin asking, who must I become to have it? This question alone separates the dreamers from the achievers, the sleepers from the awakened. Because the truth is this: life does not give you what you want, it gives you who you are. And that is what this message, these 83 minutes, are about. They are not designed to entertain you, they are designed to wake you up, to remind you of the immense untapped power within you, a power that has been waiting patiently for your permission to act. The words you are about to hear are not just sounds, they are keys, unlocking doors you may have closed long ago. You are not here by accident. You were drawn to these words because a deeper part of you is ready to remember, ready to rise, ready to step into the truth that the world outside will always reflect the world within. So listen not with your ears, but with your spirit. Because from this point on, you are no longer a passive observer of life. You are the creator. And once that realization takes root, there is no going back. There will forever be two versions of you, the one who lived asleep and the one who finally woke up. Most people live unaware that they are asleep, not physically, but spiritually and mentally. They walk through their days as if hypnotized, repeating the same patterns, feeling the same fears, thinking the same thoughts, believing they are making choices, when in truth they are simply replaying a script written long ago. They wake up, go to work, scroll through distractions, complain about their circumstances, and wonder why nothing ever changes. They live in motion, but not in consciousness. They exist, but they do not live. This is the great sleep of humanity, the condition of being alive, but unaware. We chase wealth, recognition, relationships, and validation, believing these things will fill the void within us. We run endlessly toward the mirage of someday, promising ourselves peace once everything finally falls into place. But it never does, because the issue was never the world around us. It was the world within us. Look closely at your life. Every repeated struggle, every recurring frustration, every cycle of self-sabotage is not random, it's a reflection. The universe is not punishing you, it is mirroring your belief system with perfect precision. You cannot attract abundance while secretly believing you are unworthy of it. You cannot manifest love while fearing abandonment. You cannot command success while carrying the quiet conviction that success belongs to others, not you. These contradictions form the heart of the inner conflict. The greatest battle in your life is not against external forces. It's between the self that dreams and the self that doubts. One part of you knows you are capable of greatness. It feels it deeply in those moments of stillness, in flashes of inspiration, in quiet whispers that say, There's more for you. But another part of you, the conditioned self, argues back, be realistic, stay safe, don't risk being seen. And so, the war begins. This is why so many people read endlessly, study success principles, attend seminars, listen to motivational talks, yet still remain stuck. They are feeding the conscious mind with knowledge, but never confronting the subconscious patterns that quietly run their life. They learn, but they do not transform. Because transformation is not intellectual, it is emotional. It happens when knowledge sinks deep enough to rewrite belief. Napoleon Hill understood this paradox when he said, "The man who does more than he is paid for will soon be paid for more than he does." What he meant wasn't just about work, it was about inner alignment. You cannot outperform your self-image. If you believe you are small, life will shrink to fit you. If you believe you are powerful, life will expand to match you. But believing is not just saying, it is feeling, it is knowing. The inner conflict arises because most people have two masters, their desire and their fear. The desire pulls them forward, the fear holds them back. They set goals with enthusiasm, but deep down they carry hidden doubts. What if I fail? What if I'm judged? What if I'm not enough? And because the subconscious mind always creates according to the dominant emotion, fear wins. The outer result matches the inner vibration. To awaken, you must stop fighting the world and start understanding yourself. You must look within and ask, what do I truly believe about myself? What story have I been telling that keeps me small? This is not easy work. It requires brutal honesty, the kind that strips away the excuses and forces you to see where you've been your own jailer. Most people avoid this confrontation because it's uncomfortable, but without it, no amount of motivation, strategy, or external change will last. Imagine standing in front of two mirrors. One shows who you are today, the other who you could become. The distance between them is not measured in time or luck, it's measured in belief. Every moment you choose fear, you remain in the first reflection. Every moment you choose faith, you move closer to the second. The war is not outside, it's inside. And here lies the hidden truth. The fear you feel is not your enemy. It is your invitation. It shows you exactly where your growth lies. The areas where you resist the most are the very places where your freedom is buried. The goal is not to destroy fear, but to understand it, to see that it's merely a shadow cast by the light of your potential. Once you face it directly, it dissolves. The inner conflict will end the moment you realize that the self you fear becoming powerful, bold, disciplined, unstoppable is not someone new. It's who you've always been beneath the layers of conditioning. Awakening isn't about adding something to yourself. It's about removing what was never truly you. The doubt, the fear, the hesitation, they were learned. And anything learned can be unlearned. Until this battle is faced, no amount of knowledge, wealth, or recognition will set you free. But once you confront it, once you stop being at war with your own potential, life opens up in ways that defy logic. The doors that once seemed locked swing wide open, because they were never locked at all. They were just waiting for you to realize that the key was always in your hand. Napoleon Hill revealed one of the greatest secrets of human potential when he said that the mind is both a broadcasting and receiving station of thought. Every human being, whether aware of it or not, is constantly transmitting energy, thoughts charged with emotion that ripple through the invisible field of existence. These vibrations return to us as people, circumstances, and events that match the signal we send out. This is not mysticism, it is law. You do not attract what you want, you attract what you are. Every thought you dwell on, every emotion you nurture sends a frequency into the universe, and the universe simply mirrors it back to you. Think long enough about scarcity, and you'll find proof of it everywhere. Think deeply about abundance, and you'll begin to see it take form in the most unexpected places. The law is impartial. It doesn't reward or punish. It simply reflects. Whatever dominates your consciousness multiplies. This truth explains why some people seem to live lives of constant flow while others struggle endlessly. It's not luck. It's not fate. It's vibration, the emotional tone that governs your being. Faith, gratitude, and purpose are high-frequency states. They attract clarity, opportunity, and support. Fear, doubt, and resentment are low-frequency states. They attract obstacles, confusion, and delay. And since your mind cannot hold two frequencies at once, whichever one you allow to dominate will shape your world. Napoleon Hill wrote, "The human mind is a form of energy, and energy attracts like energy." He discovered that every great achiever operated with unwavering faith, a state of belief so powerful that it overrode external conditions. When Edison failed 1,000 times, he did not lower his vibration to match defeat. He held his mind steady on the vision of success. When Henry Ford was laughed at for his ideas, he didn't listen to the vibration of mockery. He tuned his mental receiver to the frequency of certainty. These men didn't hope for success, they believed it into being. The power of vibration lies not only in thought, but in feeling. Thought is the seed. Emotion is the water. You may tell yourself, "I am confident," but if your emotions contradict it, if you feel fear, doubt, or unworthiness, the subconscious mind accepts the emotion as truth and ignores the words. This is why many affirmations fail. They are said mechanically, without emotional conviction. The subconscious mind speaks only one language, the language of feeling. To transform your reality, you must master your vibration. You must think deliberately, feel intentionally, and believe unshakably. This begins with awareness, becoming conscious of the energy you carry throughout your day. What do you feel when you wake up in the morning? Gratitude or dread? What do you feel when you face a challenge? Confidence or fear? Every emotion is a broadcast signal, and life's events are the responses that return. The key is to take control of that broadcast. Instead of reacting to circumstances, you start creating them. You choose your emotional state deliberately, not based on what is happening, but based on what you desire to happen. You train your mind to hold faith when things seem uncertain, to express gratitude even before results appear, to maintain calm when chaos surrounds you. These are not empty gestures. They are vibrational recalibrations. They shift the frequency of your entire being to match the reality you wish to experience. Imagine your mind as a radio. You can't tune into a station of abundance while broadcasting on a frequency of lack. You can't experience peace while transmitting anxiety. The moment you tune your thoughts and emotions to the right frequency, everything you desire becomes easier to access because you've aligned yourself with it. The outer world doesn't have to change first. Your inner state does. The most successful people understand this instinctively. They guard their minds like sacred temples. They refuse to entertain negative conversations, self-defeating thoughts, or emotional chaos. They know that their vibration is their most valuable currency. Napoleon Hill called it definiteness of purpose combined with burning desire. When your focus is single and your belief is strong, you become magnetic. Life bends to the intensity of your conviction. And yet, most people spend their days unaware of the signals they're sending. They think they're praying for success, but emotionally they're broadcasting fear. They say they want love, but their vibration speaks of loneliness. They wish for opportunity, but their energy resonates with doubt. The universe, always faithful, returns exactly what they emit. Mastering vibration is not about suppressing emotion, it's about directing it. It means learning to use your emotional energy as a tool, not as a reaction. When fear arises, you don't deny it, you acknowledge it, and then consciously choose faith. When doubt appears, you counter it with gratitude. When resentment surfaces, you transform it into understanding. Each choice strengthens your control over your inner frequency. This is the core principle that separates the awakened from the asleep, the powerful from the powerless, awareness of vibration. Once you understand that your thoughts and feelings create your conditions, you stop seeing yourself as a victim and start realizing you are a creator. So remember, the law is simple. Whatever dominates your consciousness multiplies. Feed your mind faith, gratitude, and purpose, and watch your world expand in their image. Because in the end, it is not what you wish for that shapes your destiny, it's what you vibrate. Transformation is not a thunderstorm, it's a sunrise. It doesn't happen all at once. It unfolds gradually, illuminating layer after layer of who you truly are. Awakening begins the moment you stop identifying with your thoughts and start observing them. You realize that the voice inside your head, the one narrating, judging, worrying, doubting, is not you. It's just the echo of old conditioning, a collection of borrowed beliefs repeating themselves automatically. And when you can watch that voice without reacting, you take your first step from bondage to freedom. Most people live enslaved to their own minds. A thought appears, I can't do this, I might fail. They'll laugh at me, and instantly they believe it. They let a single thought dictate their emotions, their confidence, their day. But the moment you awaken, you gain the power to pause. You learn to observe the thought and ask, is this truth or is it habit? Is this faith or is it fear? In that pause lies your transformation. Because awareness breaks the spell of unconsciousness. Every time you replace fear with faith, confusion with clarity, and blame with responsibility, you shift dimensions from reaction to creation. You begin to live consciously, deliberately. No longer at the mercy of moods or circumstances, you become the cause instead of the effect. You no longer say, I'll be happy when things get better. You say, things will get better because I've decided to be happy. This is not arrogance, it's alignment with universal law. The outer world must obey the vibration of the inner one. As you continue this practice, a subtle but powerful transformation takes place. You start to pause before you speak. You visualize before you act. You feel your goals as though they are already real. This emotional rehearsal begins to reshape your subconscious mind. You start to become the person who deserves the success you desire, not someday, but now. And life, which is always listening, responds by sending experiences that mirror this new identity. At first, it feels like gentle resistance, old patterns trying to reclaim their territory. But as you remain consistent, the fog begins to lift. The doubts that once ruled your decisions start to fade. The fears that used to paralyze you lose their power. You begin to see clearly that everything you ever wanted was never outside of you. It was waiting for the day you aligned your inner state with it. Napoleon Hill often wrote that success is not something to be pursued. It is something to be attracted by the person you become. When you transform your inner world, opportunity begins to find you not by coincidence, but by resonance. The people, resources, and ideas you need begin to appear because you've become the kind of person who can recognize and receive them. This process is not a one-time revelation. It's a daily practice of conscious living. It requires vigilance, a willingness to catch yourself when old thoughts resurface and to gently redirect them. It requires discipline to sit quietly, to visualize, to affirm, even when the results have not yet appeared. It requires faith, the unwavering belief that every new thought you choose is reshaping your destiny, one vibration at a time. Slowly, day by day, you evolve. The anxious version of you softens into calm. The uncertain version of you strengthens into clarity. The reactive version of you matures into wisdom. You no longer chase a success, you embody it. You no longer wait for confidence, you radiate it. The transformation is complete when you realize that nothing external can add to who you already are. It can only reflect it. And in that state, calm, powerful, decisive life begins to open its doors. Opportunities appear not because you force them, but because you've tuned yourself to their frequency. The universe responds to energy, and you've finally learned to command yours. You've stopped asking, when will life give me what I want? And started declaring, I will become what life responds to. That is the essence of true transformation, not the pursuit of change, but the remembrance of your power to create it. Awakening means nothing unless it is lived. Awareness is the spark, but application is the fire. You can fill your mind with knowledge, but until that knowledge becomes movement, it remains dormant potential. Real transformation happens not in meditation alone, but in the moments when life tests your new awareness, when fear whispers, when doubt surfaces, when the world around you pulls at your attention. That is when you must practice what you know. Apply this awareness in every moment. When fear arises, pause. Don't run from it. Don't analyze it. Simply breathe and choose faith. Feel the fear as energy passing through you, not as truth about you. Remember, emotion is information, not instruction. You can feel fear and still act with courage. Courage is not the absence of fear, it's the decision to move anyway, guided by vision rather than reaction. The instant you choose faith, your vibration shifts. The situation may be the same, but you are no longer the same person within it. When doubt begins to speak, answer with vision. Doubt will always come disguised as reason, whispering, be realistic. What if it doesn't work? What if you're not ready? But doubt only has power when you believe its story. Instead of arguing with it, redirect your mind. Close your eyes and see your goal clearly. Feel what success feels like: the relief, the confidence, the gratitude. Speak it aloud if you must. I am guided, I am capable, I am ready. These are not empty words, they are commands that reprogram the subconscious. Each morning, start with one clear intention, a single thought that aligns your mind with your purpose. Don't clutter your focus with dozens of goals. Choose one vibration, one central truth to hold. It could be, today I move with confidence, or I am aligned with opportunity. Write it down, feel it, and carry it into your day. This simple act of clarity sets the frequency for everything that follows. You are instructing your mind where to aim its energy. Remember, scattered focus creates scattered results. Throughout your day, protect your mental atmosphere. The world will always try to pull you into noise opinions, negativity, fear-based stories. But your mind is sacred ground. Guard it. Surround yourself with silence at least once a day. Step away from the digital storm, the voices, the distractions. Sit quietly, even for 5 minutes, and let your mind recalibrate from noise to power. In that silence, your inner compass resets. You remember who you are and what truly matters. Napoleon Hill once wrote that calmness of mind is one of the beautiful jewels of wisdom. It's not weakness, it's mastery. The one who can remain centered when the world shakes will always prevail. So make stillness your daily practice. Not to escape the world, but to regain command of it. Because when your mind is calm, it becomes clear. And when it is clear, it becomes creative. Every inspired idea you've ever had came from stillness, not from stress. As you begin to apply this awareness consistently, something extraordinary happens. Life begins to organize itself around your new state. People appear who share your energy. Opportunities align with your goals. Ideas arrive in perfect timing. It may look like coincidence, but it isn't. It's alignment. Life is simply mirroring your renewed inner order. The same world, once chaotic, begins to respond differently because you are different. When you live consciously, small things begin to feel sacred. A conversation becomes meaningful. A challenge becomes a lesson. A delay becomes divine timing. This shift in perception is the essence of spiritual wealth, the understanding that nothing is working against you, only working for your growth. You no longer see obstacles as punishment, but as refinement. Each test becomes proof that you are being prepared for greater things. Remember that real-world application is not about perfection, it's about persistence. You will slip back into old patterns at times, that's natural. But awareness means you'll catch yourself faster, recover sooner, and realign with greater strength. Think of your mind like a muscle. Every time you return to faith, you strengthen it. Every time you redirect your thoughts, you rewire your destiny. The world outside does not need to be controlled, it needs to be understood. Once you learn to govern your own vibration, the external aligns automatically. That is the great paradox. The less you chase, the more you attract. The calmer you become, the more power you hold. You no longer force outcomes, you allow them. So live this truth daily. When fear speaks, breathe. When doubt rises, visualize. When chaos calls, be still. Start each day with intention. End each day with gratitude. Train your mind until peace becomes your natural state and faith your default reaction. Because once your inner world is in order, your outer world becomes a masterpiece, a living reflection of the power you've always had within. These 83 minutes were never meant to simply motivate you. They were meant to awaken you. Motivation fades. Awakening transforms. Because once the mind has seen truth, it cannot unsee it. Once your eyes are open to the power within you, you can never again pretend to be powerless. You can no longer return to the old version of yourself, the one who waited for permission, the one who doubted their worth, the one who believed that life was something that happened to them instead of something that responded through them. You are now aware that everything begins and ends within you. The world you see is nothing more than a projection of the world you believe. Every limitation that once felt permanent is now revealed as an illusion, a story you once told yourself so many times that you mistook it for truth. But stories can be rewritten, and now you have the pen. Success, as Napoleon Hill taught, is not something you chase, it's something you become. The wealth, the peace, the recognition, the love, all of it is secondary. They are effects, not causes. The real cause is consciousness, the state of mind you carry each day. If your inner world is filled with fear, chaos, or doubt, the outer world will mirror that turbulence. But if your inner world is built on faith, gratitude, and purpose, the outer world must obey that vibration. It has no choice. Law is law. The Great Awakening is realizing that you were never searching for success. You were searching for yourself. The version of you that believes, acts, and radiates power has always existed beneath the surface. You don't need to become someone new. You need to remember who you truly are. You need to clear away the noise of the world, the opinions of others, the fears of failure, until only truth remains. You are the creator. Always have been, always will be. When you reach this awareness, life begins to flow differently. You stop chasing outcomes and start aligning with them. You stop forcing and start allowing. You begin to trust that what belongs to you will find you not through struggle, but through resonance. And as you rise in faith and clarity, you begin to attract experiences, people, and opportunities that match your new frequency. This is not luck, it is law in motion. So take a breath right now and let this truth settle deeply into your being. You are not becoming powerful, you are remembering that you already are. The same power that shaped mountains and stars exists within your mind. Every dream you hold is not a fantasy. It's a preview of what is possible when your belief and emotion unite in harmony. These 83 minutes were never about learning new information. They were about remembering timeless wisdom, that you are a transmitter of thought, a sculptor of reality, and a vessel of infinite potential. From this moment forward, live with that awareness. Think deliberately, speak consciously, feel intentionally. Let your presence become a mirror of calm power and unwavering faith. Because when you finally become success within, when your inner vibration aligns with purpose and certainty, the outer world has no choice but to reflect it back. That is the secret. That is the law. And that is the truth that will follow you long after these 83 minutes fade into silence.